Project has dozens of options, so you can tell it how you want it to work. Many of the default settings work for most people, but here are some you might want to change. When you go to the Backstage view, on the left side, click Options. That opens up the Project Options dialog box and it goes to the General category. While we're there, let's go to the Date Format box. To change the default date format, click the down arrow and then choose the format you want. For example, if you want a really concise date format, you can choose this one with the month, day, and 2-digit year. You can always come back anytime you want, click the down arrow and choose something else. For example, one that has time in it. Next, let's go to the Save category. The first setting is Save Files in this format, and it's set to the project format. That's usually what you want. If I click the down arrow, you can see that if you work with people who have a really old version of Project, you can always save your project files in the Project 2007 format instead. But I'm going to keep it set to Project. The next setting is the default file location. This is the location that when you open up the Save As dialog box, it's going to go to this folder. Right now, it's set to my Documents folder, but I can click Browse and then choose my Projects folder and click OK so that my project files will get saved in this folder. You can also have Project remind you to save your files. To do that, turn on Auto Save every so many minutes. Right here, it's set to 60 minutes, but you can change that to 30 or even as long as 120, whatever you want. It's going to be set with the option Save Active Project Only. If you want to save all open projects, you can select that option instead. After you turn on the Auto Save Every checkbox, then it selects the Save Active Project Only option. You can also choose the option to save all open projects, but I'm going to leave it to the active project here. You also want to make sure that the checkbox Prompt before saving is turned on. That way, Project will ask you before it saves the files, just in case you're in the middle of a big what-if experiment. Another setting is Save to Computer by default. If you save your files to your computer instead of the cloud, turn this checkbox on. That way, in the Backstage Save page, it will automatically select your computer. Finally, let's go to the Trust Center at the bottom of the list. On the right side, click Trust Center Settings. In the Legacy Formats category, it's set to not open or save files with legacy or non-default file formats. That means Project just won't even consider them. A better way is to select the next option to prompt when loading those types of files. That way, Project will ask you what you want to do. Then at the bottom right, click OK to close that dialog box and click OK to close the Project Options dialog box. And those are a few options you might want to change in Project.